Here's what people don't talk about when they talk about financial abuse. It's not just about the money. It's about what the money represents. Each piece of jewelry I sold was a piece of my history, my identity, my security. Every dollar was a shift I'd worked, a shot in someone's foreline, a comfort I'd provided. It was me, my time, my body, my sacrifice, converted into cash and handed over to someone I trusted. And every time I did it, a little voice inside me whispered, "You're not enough without this." I started having panic attacks around the 10th of every month. That's when Marcus usually called. That's when I'd check my bank account before answering the phone, trying to calculate how many shifts I'd need to pick up. I didn't sleep well. I'd lie awake calculating. If I skipped buying new scrubs, if I packed lunch every single day for 6 months, if I stopped going to my doctor's appointments for routine checkups, how much could I save? What could I give him next? My friend Diane, we'd worked together for 15 years, finally said something to me in the break room one day. "Patricia, I've never seen you buy yourself anything new." I was wearing scrubs I'd had since 2015. Holes in the fabric. A stain on the pocket that wouldn't come out. My shoes had tape holding the sole together. "I'm fine," I said. "You're not fine," she said. "You look exhausted. You look scared. What's going on?" And I couldn't tell her the truth. I couldn't tell anyone that my son was taking everything I had and leaving me with holes. But the car was something else. The car was a line being crossed. Let me tell you about the 5 specific moments when I realized something fundamental had shifted. When helping became being used. Marcus called me on a Tuesday. He was upset. The business wasn't doing well. He needed $5,000 immediately. "Mom, I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious. I need you to know I'm going to pay you back. This is a loan. I'm not asking for charity." He was so specific. He had a payment plan drawn up. $50 a month starting in January 2024. It would take him 8 years to pay me back, but he had a plan. I never saw a single payment. When I asked about it months later, I forgot. I'm sorry. Things got tight. Things got tight because he was spending money on things that didn't matter. But I was the one without a cushion. Marcus's girlfriend had a birthday party. A big one. Their whole friend group. He showed me the pictures on Instagram. A rooftop venue, probably 200 people, bottles of expensive champagne, everyone dressed to the nines. He didn't invite me. When I asked why, he said, "Mom, it was the guy's thing. Not really a family event. You wouldn't have had fun anyway." The truth? He was embarrassed. I was a nurse in scrubs with holes. I was careful with money. I was everything he was trying to distance himself from. But when he needed money, suddenly I was the perfect family. I found out from a colleague that Marcus had been telling people I was mentally unstable. That I'd had episodes. That I was seeing a therapist and having anxiety issues. I never told him that. Those were private health matters I'd shared with exactly no one at his social level. When I confronted him, he backtracked. "I was just explaining why you sometimes worry too much about money, Mom. It's not a big deal." But it was. It was a violation. He'd taken my vulnerability, the private struggles I was having because I was drowning financially, and weaponized it against me. He'd made me into a cautionary tale. The unstable mother. I finally, carefully asked him if the business was actually real, if there were actual clients, if any of this was producing income. His response, "After everything I've done for you, you're going to question whether I'm being honest with you? That really hurts, Mom. That really, really hurts. I feel like you don't trust me. Do you know how that makes me feel? Do you even care?" He made himself the victim. I was the one doubting, the one suspicious, the one breaking his heart. I apologized. I apologized for asking my own son if he was telling me the truth about where my life savings were going. 3 weeks before the car, Marcus announced that his girlfriend was pregnant. They'd gotten engaged. He was going to be a father. And his first question to me wasn't, "I have great news." It was, "Mom, do you think you could help us out with the wedding? It won't cost too much. Maybe $5,000. $5,000. From someone who had already taken $65,000. From someone who hadn't given a single dollar back. From someone who was clearly thriving while I was drowning. I said I needed to think about it. He didn't speak to me for a week. That's where I was when I saw the car. Sitting in my 2008 Honda Civic. Paid off in 2015 because I'd been debt-free conscious, because I'd been responsible, looking at a brand new BMW that cost more than I made in a year. And Marcus was looking at me waiting for congratulations. Where did you get the money? I asked. My voice was quiet. Dangerous quiet. I've been saving, he said. The business finally started paying off. The business. The magical business that had somehow produced zero income in 3 years but was apparently now flush with capital. Show me, I said. Show you what? The business. The clients. The income statements. Show me where this car came from. Mom, you're doing the thing again. The distrusting thing. The controlling thing. No, I said. And something in my chest cracked open. Something that had been sealed shut for 3 years. No, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get out of this car and I'm going to ask you one question, and I want you to think very carefully before you answer. I opened my car door. I stepped out. I looked at my 32-year-old son in his brand new car and I asked, "Did you buy this car with the money I gave you?" There was a pause. Just a fraction of a second. But I saw his face. I saw him calculate. I saw him decide. No, he said. But his eyes said yes. Then where did the money come from? Different sources. Investments. Things Be specific. I don't have to explain myself to you. And that was it. That was the moment. That was when I understood. I had spent 32 years, his entire life, explaining myself to him. Apologizing for my limitations. Justifying my boundaries. Trying to be enough. And he had spent the last 3 years explaining nothing. He owed me nothing. Not gratitude. Not honesty. Not even basic respect. And I was going to accept it because I'd taught him that he didn't have to give it. I stood there in my driveway looking at his BMW and I made a decision. That was going to change.